Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. And good afternoon to all of my listeners in Jamestown on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock on WRFA 107.9. Low power to the people. So glad you could join us. I know that we are heard over there, and we're so glad that you are interested in what we have to say over here on the other side of the county, because we're all one county. It's not that big. And the stuff that we have here to talk about, you should come over and visit or partake as we do over on your side of the county. So anyways, thanks for joining us. And this is a live show. And I always want to remind folks that between 9 and 10, you can give us a call at 753-5225. And the lovely and talented individual, Randall Burt, will be on the other end. I'll answer your call, put you on speaker, and we'll listen to you if you want to talk about your club or organization that maybe is having an event coming up. If you have a question for my guest or for myself as we're going along, don't be shy. From time to time we get calls. We don't get a lot, but we do encourage you to give us a holler. You can always text us, email us, and if you are shy and you don't want to talk live on TV with me, you can just tell Randy whatever it is you want to announce. He'll write it up for me, and we'll get it over, and we'll announce it for you, okay? As always, all of our announcements are free of charge. We're public access, so we're happy, more than happy, to share what all the good stuff that's going on in Chautauqua County, and especially this part of the county here in the west and the north. I have a few things to share with you, then I have some announcements, and then we'll get to our guest here in a little bit. So please stick around. Always remember, too, that if you're listening to us on the radio, you can watch us on channel 1301 on Spectrum. And if none of that works for you, you can always go to YouTube, where we are memorialized forever and ever. This is show 276, so we got tons of topics there for you. Okay, let's start out. I promised myself that I would make sure I announce this. My good friend Pete Weimer, he's got his Bigfoot Expo today. I've seen Bigfoot. That's going on at Camp Aniasa, and that's going to be running from 10 a.m. this morning to 6:30 from what I was reading. And if you missed our show, you can go Chautauqua Sunrise on YouTube, put Weimer or Bigfoot, and that show will pop up, and you can watch it. And if you're still interested, check out. This is their 8th annual Bigfoot exposition today, running from 10 to 6:30. It's a little wet out there, huh? But you know, when it's wet and soggy, good things are happening in Chautauqua County. That means it's grape harvest season. At least it's not snowing, because I've seen it snow during that time of year. But and I say this every week. I rode my bike from Ripley to Westfield and back yesterday, and the whole stretch was just Concord grape. Just this beautiful aromatic environment that I was in. It's supposed to be a little rain today, and then the rest of the weekend is supposed to be great. So get out there, support those farmers markets, the fruit stands, the market stands, the vegetable stands. There's pumpkins everywhere, I think, gourds, tomatoes, all kinds of good stuff. So check out the lakeshore. It's really beautiful this time of year. And I know the colors aren't particularly spectacular yet, so I kind of did a little inventory this morning as I was driving in, but I did see some of the maples are starting to turn oranges and reds, and hopefully in the next week or so the colors will really become brilliant and be a lot of fun driving around the county, having a look. Okay, want to remind you that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I bring this up because in my own family, my mom was a breast cancer survivor, and she lived for a good long life because they found it early on. And last week, if you missed the show, Brenda Burdick was here from the Westfield Memorial Hospital talking about breast cancer intervention or cancer interventions and treatments and prevention and all that good stuff. And so I encourage women, especially, get out there, get those mammograms, but men as well. As we were saying, I forgot what the number of men to women is. It's not high, but it'll save your life. And if you feel like anything's unusual, please go check it out. Westfield Memorial Hospital, one of my underwriters, has 3D mammographies now, and it's the state of the art. So just go. Your insurance covers all that for the most part. Okay? So let's see what else I got here. I think that's about all I want to say right now, off topic. Oh, I know. Last week, I was part of a really fun but emotional. I know this sounds like it's kind of like, why did I just say contradictory? It was fun in the event that was part of it, but it was a very emotional ride when we did Harvest Moon Part 2 or 2019 over at the Lakeshore Center for the Arts at the Presbyterian Church. We had a great turnout, and if you have not seen a production locally in this part of the county, Jamestown has quite a bit up that way and up in Fredonia, but over in Westfield, this is a great troupe of folks that put on productions, and coming up will be A Wonderful Life in December. But with Harvest Moon, it was pretty spectacular. And so my hats off to my fellow actors and portrayers of various people from Westfield, and of course Rick Mascaro, director and writer of that show. So enough on that. And speaking of performing arts, here's some announcements. Chautauqua Region Community Foundation and Infinity present Learning Carnival Open House. Now, if you're not familiar with Infinity, Infinity is an organization that works with youth to enhance their performing, musical, artistic, dance, whatever you want. There's all kinds of areas that they cover after school, on weekends, during the summer, and so forth. This is a phenomenal organization. So let's see what's going on here. It says here, providing quality instruction and mentoring opportunities to young people in music and the arts has been Infinity's mission since 1998. The mission has been accomplished over the last 21 years thanks to strong support from the community, as well as a drive to continually evolve and meet the needs of the Chautauqua County community. And that includes all this area here too. Kids come from all over the county, I've been told, and including Pennsylvania. Thanks to a grant award from the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, Infinity is now offering an opportunity to experience hands-on learning experiences at the Infinity Center. All are invited to join the fun at the Infinity Learning Carnival and Open House on Saturday, October 19th. That will be next week. This event will take place at the Infinity Center in downtown Jamestown at 301 East 2nd Street, known as the Lynn Building. Suite 101, right downtown Jamestown, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they're going to be featuring demo classes, facility tours, a photo booth, games, prizes, and a whole lot more. I've been there. I've performed there. We've had the students here and their instructors. this is just a phenomenal program, and I wish a lot of us guys and gals when we were growing up had this opportunity, because I know in our own careers it would have really enhanced a lot of things that we do now. According to Stephanie Rogers, who's their grants and marketing coordinator, she says this annual event in partnership with the Chautauqua Regional Community Foundation has become a day that we really look forward to hosting. It gives the community an opportunity to visit the Infinity Center and really see what the Infinity experience is all about. We're grateful to Chautauqua Regional Community Foundation for helping us make this glimpse into infinity possible for so many of our community members. It's truly a day to explore and experience all that we have to offer in a fun and engaging way. So if you're interested in this day, give them a call at 664-0991. And also, if you're ever interested in classes or more information, do give them a call. Again, 664-0991. Okay, moving right along. We got a presentation by the, let's see here, Chautauqua County Historical Society. Okay, and it's free. This is slide 15. Chautauqua County is experiencing a beer renaissance with numerous microbreweries and craft beer establishments currently operating in several local communities, including Westfield. But those businesses currently in operation are just the latest in a long line of bottlers. Remember I was talking about that earlier, bottlers, and breweries that existed both before and after Prohibition. On Saturday night, October 12th, tonight, Chautauqua County Historical Society trustee and historian Bob Johnson will focus on some of those past brewing operations with a program entitled The Early History of Chautauqua County Brewers, Bottlers, and Beers. The program is free and open to the public. Okay, and this is going to take place, at 6 p.m. at the Jamestown Brewing Company, 119 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. There's no cost to attend the presentation. The event is open to the general public. A variety of food and refreshments will be available for sale before or after the program. In addition, some of the brewery's product will also be available for sale during presentation, and the business will also offer a tour of the new brewing operation at the end of Johnson's presentation, tentatively set for 7 p.m. Okay, it's still a little early yet, but you can give them a call at 326-2977 for more information. 326-2977. All right. Let's see here. Congratulations, moving along, to all award winners of the Chamber of Commerce Awards in Chautauqua County. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it goes quite along, but each of our communities, we can move on, Jeff. Most of our communities have a Chamber of Commerce, and the ones I'm going to just highlight are the ones here in Mayville and down the road in Westfield. They have a chamber up in Dunkirk, Fredonia, Jamestown, and so forth, but I'm going to focus just on two because there's so many award recipients. And the ones that received award from the Mayville Chautauqua Chamber of Commerce, I'm going to read now. A couple with a long history of participation in the Mayville Fire Department was presented with the Mayville Chautauqua Chamber Community Service Award, and they are Bob and Joyce Matthews, and they've selflessly served the community since 2001. She as an emergency medical technician, and he as an emergency vehicle driver. They freely give of their time to make sure that when a Mayville resident needs help, that call is answered. Good on you guys. Congratulations for your award. And there's so many folks that are out there doing similar things that go unnoticed, but we do appreciate all of our first responders. But congratulations to Bob and Joyce Matthews. Continuing on, the Westfield Barcelona Community Chamber honored someone I know, Gene McCausland, with his Community Service Award. The president of the Westfield Community Kitchen. She schedules volunteers, chairs meetings, and oversees fundraisers. She also volunteers for the Hospital Auxiliary and is a volunteer for the food pantry at the Methodist Church, the Patterson Library, and the Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Each year, the Chamber is moved for the dedication by their recipients and grateful that they can recognize just a small portion of those that inspire others with their work. So, Jean, good for you. I know Jean, she's a hard worker, and I see her everywhere, it seems. And so glad that you all could be recognized. Okay, moving right along, this is just a general announcement. This is the time of year where you need to start thinking about your health insurance and if you want to change riders. And there's lots of programs out there. I'm not going to read this particular one, but there's, I believe you have to have your decision made if you're going to change your insurance somewhere early December. It's usually like the 1st or the 6th or 7th or something like that. But there are different organizations that will help you make those decisions. And one is the Office for the Aging. They do help you with those kinds of things. So before you make any big changes, do talk to somebody before you do, because you could be spending a lot of money that you don't need to do. Okay, so that's just a general announcement. Check your supplementary insurance benefits and see if you want to change. If not, just stay where you are. Okay, this one goes over to Westfield. This is from a friend of mine, Tom Vitale, who was the library director. And it's just an open letter letting you know that on November 7th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. they're having a Community Connections Night. And it used to be called Do Neighbors Night, but they're working on getting everybody out to do a little networking. And they have invited the town, the village, the school district, the hospital, the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development, local businesses, houses of worship, the County Historical Society, Lakeshore Center for the Arts. Everybody's been invited, the Rotary Club and so forth. And I'll be there representing the Westfield Memorial Hospital. And so if you're interested, give them a call over there at the library. Again, it's Community Connections Night, November 7th, which was rescheduled from earlier. Okay, then, this one's near and dear to my heart. Let's pop that up, that sweet number 16 number. Westfield Mayville Rotary Club is having their Gold Rush. All right, that's going to be a week from today, Saturday, October 19th at Easton Hall in Westfield. $30 per ticket. Now, you say, well, $30, what do you get? You get a full meal. You get a quarter piece of chicken, Chevette's chicken, you get a beef on weck, you get au gratin potatoes, pasta with homemade meat sauce, tossed salad, dessert, and beverage, plus a chance to win money. Now, this is a major fundraiser for our club, and our club does, hold on. Where'd it go? I just lost something. Oh, that's all it was? Okay. I thought it was my microphone. Thanks, Carolyn. I have a tendency to get my hands moving here. A chance to win some money. This money that was raised goes to our community organizations, and it helps sponsor lots of projects that we do locally and internationally, and scholarships for kids in high school, and we send students to various trainings and so on. Please, if you're listening and you're interested, this is a great fun night. It starts at 6 o'clock and runs throughout the evening, but the thing is, you can bring your own beverages, your adult beverages, sodas, whatever you like. You can bring in snacks afterwards if you just want to sit back and relax. It's a fun night. I MC it. I try to make it light and moving it right along, and you learn a little bit about Rotary as well. So please, if you're interested, give Linda Dunn a call at 326-3012 for tickets, or you can see any other Rotarian. We have tickets as well. Also, included this year is going to be a basket raffle, a little different, where you can buy some, I don't know what you call it, like a big ticket that has numbers on it. You sign your name on there, and that's your number, and then you put your numbers in these little baskets, and then they draw these out, and you win whatever that basket is. And, of course, our 50-50. Okay? Gold Rush. All right, let's see here. Getting down to the last one now. Okay, this is it. I don't think we have a slide on this, so I'll just read it. Rolling Hills Radio will present singer-songwriter Sean Rowe and blues artist Andy Cohen for episode 91, October 28th at Shawbucks, 212 West 2nd Street in Jamestown. Okay, as you all know, the Rolling Hills Radio is really a cool project by my buddy Ken Hardley, and he brings in musicians, performers from all over the country that basically are part of the Americana scene. And these very often are folks that you listen on the radio, you'll hear them on NPR, you'll hear them on YouTube and so forth, but you don't get to see them because they play the smaller venues sometimes, okay? Over the course of his career, blues-influenced singer-songwriter Sean Rowe has recorded 5 full-length albums. That's only 5 more than me. And several EPs. His music has been used widely throughout film and television, with notable examples including NBC hit drama The Blacklist and Parenthood. Excuse me. Rowe's song To Leave Something Behind was one of the 2 non-score tracks to be featured in Ben Affleck's hit In 2016 feature film, The Accountant. The song accompanied the film's final scene and has since received nearly 4.5 million streams on Spotify. He's heard all over the world, and he's something. Okay, and then Andy Cohen, the second performer, grew up in a house with a piano and a lot of Dixieland jazz records, amplified after a while by a cornet that his dad got him. Cornet. At about 15, he got bitten by the folk music bug and soon got to hear records by Big Bill Brunsey and the Jim Kweskin Jug Band, both of which reminded him of the music he grew up to. At 16, he saw Reverend Gary Davis and his course was set. He knew he had it in him to follow and study, perform, and promote the music of the Southeast Quadrant, America's great musical fountainhead. Although he's done other songs, a certain amount of his writing and physical labor, from dishwashing and railroading to archaeology, playing out old tunes is what he does best. Okay, we'll talk again about this next week, but if you're interested, the show starts, well, the doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6:15, and tickets are only $15. If you're interested, give me a call at 294-0416, and you can go online if you want to buy them there at Rolling Hills Radio, all one word, .org/tickets. Rolling Hills Radio, all one word, .org/tickets, 294-0416. I've been to the Shawbucks. I've seen one of the shows. It's lots of fun. Great night out. That's it. I'm tired of reading. We're going to take a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's a miracle that springs forth to feed us, to clothe us, to bring us joy. A miracle prompted by rain and warmed by the sun. But few realize without healthy soil below ground, there would be little life above it. Learn more about this miracle under our feet and how we're working with farmers and ranchers to unlock the secrets in the soil.
Okay, we're back, and I want to just say a few words before we get started here. As many of you know, Chautauqua Sunrise talks about the cool things in Chautauqua County and in the surrounding area. And today is no exception. This is an organization that I've been associated with, I think, from day one somehow. I don't know how I ended up being part of it, but I was. And I want to introduce today Carolyn Bills and Keith Fowler, who are they're from the board of directors that oversees the Grape Discovery Center, because I can't remember the whole title. Concord. So anyway, so good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Grape Discovery Center is overseen by the board, and so how about tell me what the board's name is?
We're the Concord Grape Belt Heritage Association, and it's a volunteer organization, about 160 members right now.
Oh my gosh.
And all of the support for the Grape Discovery Center comes from those members and from the sales in the retail outlet there. Our mission is actually supporting, promoting the region and providing educational background on grape growing in this region.
Now, Carolyn, I remember that somebody had done some research, and I don't remember who the somebody was, but they had gone out west of here, Minnesota maybe, and so the Cranberry Discovery Center, I think it was called, and that was maybe about 10 years ago.
I would say that's
somewhere in that region. So
right.
what was the whole seed on this? What was the germ that started all this?
Well, I think that it was important for the organization to come up with a way to promote the wine and grape industry along the Lake Erie Plain.
Mm-hmm.
And a few folks went to Wisconsin, I believe it was.
I knew it was over there somewhere,
Yes.
up in that corner.
To what was called the Cranberry Discovery Center. And it was an amazing place to visit, and we sort of modeled the Discovery Center, our Discovery Center, after that.
Okay. When you said your organization wanted to promote the grape industry, how did the organization start to begin with?
I'm new, I don't know.
Well, I don't know the exact history of the organization,
Right.
but there was a founding fathers, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
who decided that this would be a good thing for the region, for Chautauqua County. There are many reasons why. One is obviously tourism. to get people to come to our end of the county, and also to support the agricultural industry, wine, grapes specifically for us, and to promote the 23 or so wineries that are on the wine trail from Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania to Silver Creek, New York.
Okay.
I think a lot of our members are local farmers, and again, the economic promotion of the region would be a really important part of it. I think some of the families like Steve Barron and the Starr family were instrumental in pulling that together and boosting the economy here.
Carolyn, I think I know the answer to this, but my viewers and listeners may not. How did you get involved with this?
Personally,
Sure.
how I got involved? Well, I'm a retiree from Welch's. I worked for Welch's in the general office building in the communications department, and then I managed the call center, which was their 800 number. And when I retired, I was looking for something that I thought I would enjoy doing. And I have a little bit of grape background there.
Right.
So it was, and they're just such a fun group of people. You know, the board, right down to our volunteers who are amazing, and they keep this place going.
Okay, and Keith, you said you're relatively new, so
We're
how did you
relatively
get
new
involved?
to the area, 10 years, so that's new
Oh,
around
shoot,
here.
you probably don't even have your boxes unpacked yet for 10 years.
Correct, that's actually true. You could ask my wife. She'll remind me that all the time. My wife was volunteering at the Grape Discovery Center, and by the way, we're always looking for volunteers who want to come. It's a really fun thing to do, to come up there and volunteer. If you ever had a secret desire to be a bartender, you can work in our tasting room and serve people tastings of wine from the area. But I was at a board or a association meeting in January, and someone asked me if I wanted to actually sit on the board, and just when I thought I was out, they sucked me back in. So.
I know that feeling.
And Carolyn's right, it's a blast. It's a really fun place to work.
So what's your background? Carolyn says you work for Welch's.
I'm an information technology professional. I moved into the area from Pittsburgh in a roundabout way, quite a bit roundabout, to work with Bush Furniture, a fantastic company down in the Jamestown Falconer area. I retired from there 2 years ago, and like Carolyn, you need something to do. And
you served in the Marines, you told me.
I did, back in the mid-'70s.
Okay, very good.
Late 60s, mid-'70s. And then while here, we had a nice little piece of land overlooking the lake, and I decided to plant about an acre and a half of grapes, and like I said, just when I thought I was out, it sucked me back in. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you're in Westfield or Mayville?
Up in Westfield, right.
Okay, great. Okay, and let's see. So because we have listeners and not necessarily viewers all the time during the show, how would you describe the Grape Discovery Center?
I think it's a real gem, an undiscovered gem in Westfield. We have a beautiful gift shop, and many of the items that we sell there are by local artisans. You're going to find something unique every time you come through the door. We have a beautiful tasting room where you can taste many of the wines. We switch them in and out, and we try to represent a number of wineries that wish to participate in that. We have an exhibit room. The Stanley Starr exhibit room is wonderful. The family donated money so that we could create a museum-type exhibit room. It tells the history of the grapes, how the grape was developed. It talks and speaks to the agricultural district and the history, why the grapes grow well here. We have some interactive displays that the kids would love. And then we have the Steve Barron Memorial Patio, which is beautiful. It sits right off the road, but you would never know that the highway was there. It has a beautiful view of the escarpment, and with the vineyard is right there. You can see the grapes up close and personal. So it is an amazing place to visit.
How much does it cost to get in?
It is free, always. No admission fee whatsoever.
And if I could add, Carolyn, right at this time of year,
Yes.
it's a nice day, sitting on the patio, sipping a glass of wine, the aroma of the grapes as they're being harvested is phenomenal.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
You know, I was saying I was riding my bike. Of course, I'm so fast I barely could smell it, but yeah. You know, I love it. I ride by the Westfield High School there, and they have the, you know, you're going this fast. So I see like 10 miles an hour. Let's get up to 12. But you're absolutely right. It's breathtaking. It's just a bouquet that's just, and it's not overbearing. It's just really like, wow.
One of the other things that's fascinating is when you're up in this area and you stop by the Grape Discovery Center, if you're driving around along Route 20 or Highway 5, watching the harvesters going through it's the most amazing thing to watch, how it can actually just knock off the grapes off the vines into a bin next to them. It's phenomenal.
Years ago, a friend of mine, Bob Bentley, he invited me to be on his harvester when he was doing grapes. And so that was pretty darn cool. And it was a certain kind of a vacuum, if I remember right. As the grapes hit the belt, and he had to adjust it just right because didn't want to do something to the grapes. He had all these technical terms. But it was pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
And a lot of people, I'm going to try to phrase this correctly, don't realize, but the grape harvester was invented locally in the Ripley area by the Ortons. Right?
That's correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really very nice to know that so much of what's going on in our county in this particular area is homegrown. It's by the inventors, the farmers, those that make products and all that stuff. It's right here in Chautauqua County. It's not being farmed out to other places and brought back again. I want to talk a little bit more about the center in that I was talking about earlier that every Christmas, I go in there. Of course, you can go anytime, but Christmas is where I do a lot of my shopping type things. And I always seem to find something really cool, whether it's for a gift for my brother or something for the house, or if you got a Secret Santa or something like that. They got little tiny things all the way up to some really, really spectacular things. And unique. But I've never seen these gifts, anywhere else. And a lot of them are grape themed, right?
That would be correct. We have a lot of grape themed items, and we also feature a lot of beach glass jewelry that's made locally. We have artwork that is done by local artisans if you're looking for something to hang on your wall. Mm-hmm. And we just have we try to have a few things for the children. If your Grandma and Grandpa are on vacation, they want to take something home with them, we have grape gummy bears that are really, really good. They're really Concord-y flavored. And we have Concord Twizzlers, and we have some little cinch sacks for the kids. So we have a wide variety of items. You really can find some great things there.
And one of the things we really have that really stands out at the Grape Discovery Center is the wine from the New York side of the region. Mm-hmm. We represent the whole region, Pennsylvania and New York, but we're located in New York, so our farm winery license is from New York, and we sell wines from the local wineries. And a lot of local manufactured products like jellies, salsas, grapeseed vinaigrette, which is one of our biggest sellers. We also, as you mentioned, Christmas, we put them into baskets so that someone can come in and buy a complete Christmas basket loaded with a combination of these things, including the wines, or the grapeseed vinaigrette, and the jams, etc.
Super.
One other thing I'd like to mention,
sure.
We have with the help of the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation, we've just expanded our online shopping, and we're selling some of these products as far as Oregon, Maine, Texas, Arizona. So we got people who may have been to the Grape Discovery Center or just find us on the website and then buy and have our products shipped to them in all parts of the United States.
Would you tell my son that? Because every time we go to visit out west, I got to bring a case of wine. So maybe you could just go online and.
Well, except for the wines.
Oh, you can't do the wine?
You'll still have to carry that. So.
Well, hey, we just put a spotlight of the camera right now on your products that you brought along here. So why don't we go through one by one and talk a little bit about it? And I'm assuming all of these are available at the Grape Discovery Center, right? All things grape. So I don't care. Start with any one of them. Let's talk about them.
Well, we have a full line of products. The one we brought today is the Grape Preserves. It has a Grape Discovery Center label on it.
Okay, why don't you grab that and let's hold it right up there.
Okay.
I don't know if we're
this one here.
There you
yep.
go. Okay, so that one right there. You can zoom right in here. Here we go. Okay.
Sorry about that, Jeff.
Okay, that's all right. Now, this is jelly or jam?
This is a Grape Preserves. Yeah, it's more of a jam consistency.
So it's thicker and heavier.
It is thicker,
Okay.
but we have cherry varieties and blueberry and a lot of the local fruits that we would have there.
Okay, super.
And then we also have the salsa, Keith, if you want to pick that up.
All right.
This is actually a cranberry salsa, which has just a little bit of heat to it, but we have several different kinds of salsa. This would be really great with your Thanksgiving turkey.
All right, wait a minute. Cranberry salsa. You're talking about tomatoes and cranberries together?
It's kind of more, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's like that sweet tart.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
We have a
really
number of
very
these
good.
different types of
We
salsas.
do.
They're fantastic. And they're all made by a local family over in northeast PA.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping it local. Okay, what we got?
sure.
What's this tall bottle here? What's this?
This is our #1 seller. This is the grape vinaigrette that Keith was talking about. It's made for us by Brick Village Gourmet, and it's a wonderful salad dressing. You can use it on a tossed salad, on a pasta salad. You could use it as a baste for your chicken on the grill. It's very, very good. And
It says grapeseed. What? I don't understand
yes,
that.
it's a
Grapeseed oil.
grapeseed oil is
Oh,
the
all right, so
base
it's
for
pressed?
it.
It's pressed?
Yes.
Yes.
So what you mean is after you get the juice out of the grapes, and you take the seeds and you make something else with it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow. All right, we got more stuff here. What else we got?
Okay.
I think these are two interesting things.
All
and
right, what do we got?
almost competing products from down the road
Okay.
from each other.
So we got Welch's and we got,
Growers Co-op.
okay, how
Yes.
about explain the difference there?
Well, they're two individual cooperatives that accept the grapes from the region and process them into finished products or possibly 50-gallon barrels of concentrated juice, whatever their customers need. These would be two of the cooperatives that are in Westfield. I can speak to Welch's. Welch's is a cooperative owned by National Grape Cooperative, Inc. So Welch's is the marketing arm for National Grape Cooperative. I'm not familiar with growers and how their operation is.
So that's a group of farmers that form their own organization?
That is true. It is actually owned by the growers themselves, which is what makes them the cooperative.
I made a big mistake one time at a function, and I introduced somebody wrong, and I had the wrong organization. I got all these boos. So I've learned to make sure that I don't go there.
They have a lot of other products that we sell, Growers Co-op does. They have actually cherry juice, which has some phenomenal product effects for gout and things like that. So a lot of people come by to buy the 32-ounce cherry concentrate. We also have this in the grape concentrate also, and it's a Concord pie filling also. So and they have a lot of products that they actually sell in the area or through the Grape Discovery Center.
Now, you mentioned some health benefits from some of these products. I was always told that the Concord juice is great because it has a lot of antioxidants. Did I say that right? For cancer fighting foods and things like this.
Our website, our Facebook page just had a post the other day citing some of the benefits of the Concord grape. The antioxidant is one. The other one is very helpful for the heart. My wife and I, she's a medical professional, we sat there and discussed for quite a while, is there such a thing as arterial elasticity? And we wind up looking it up, and yes, actually it helps keep your, not the typical hardening of the arteries, but actually making your arteries a little bit more elastic. So it's a very interesting fruit, has some phenomenal benefits, and you can come to the Grape Discovery Center and get all types of products related to grape.
Do we cover all? Oh,
One more.
Oh, no, we have one more
okay.
famous. Yeah. These are really, really good. These are Concord grape gummy bears,
There you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
and they're really good. They're high quality. They don't have a lot of artificial ingredients or anything in them, and it's very similar to having a Concord grape.
Yeah.
They're
Probably
I
the
bet
second.
it really makes your mouth pop up.
That's
A little
fantastic.
bit,
Oh,
yeah, a little bit.
So I bet that's a big seller.
It is. It really is.
Number two behind the grapeseed vinaigrette.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, let's kind of go now to the Grape Discovery Center as a child, like I always do. I always tell people I'm just a 6-year-old in a big body. For those that have never been to the Grape Discovery Center, live in Chautauqua County, shame on you. You should go there because there's something for everybody there. Okay.
Indeed.
There's videos. I remember something like that, and it shows a lot of stuff. And we'll come back to that. But if you have some kids and you got like a rainy day like today, and you're trying to think, what could I do? It's free. You come. We haven't even said where it is. Why don't you give them the location?
Okay. It is located on Route 20 in Westfield. It's about a mile outside the village.
Coming towards my hometown, Ripley.
That would be toward Ripley, absolutely. And we are there Wednesdays through Sunday. Wednesday, our hours would be 10 to 5. And Sunday, we're there from noon to 4. But in our exhibit room, we do have some interactive displays that the kids love. You can actually open up some cones and smell the grapes if it doesn't happen to be harvest season, as it is now. And there's a place where they can pick up a pair of trimmers and click them to see how many clicks they can do in a minute.
You know, when I did that, I stood there, messing with it, trying to go as fast as I could. All of a sudden I realized this is work.
Indeed.
In real life, it really is too.
It's real work. I mean, it's we forget the farmer end of this. The ones that are doing all the hard work. There's a lot of work behind this, and the equipment and the investment and the time and praying that goes on for a good weather and so forth.
Indeed. One of the other things, if I can just interject, that the kids love is we have a woolly mammoth bone that was found in the region back from the glacier days, which is how the escarpment was created anyway, was through the glaciers. And that has affected the soil, which Keith could probably speak to better than I can.
Well, I actually wanted to go back to some of the interactive things there. There's a sample of a refractometer, which a farmer would use to be able to test the level of bricks in the grapes. And the bricks is a level of sweetness, basically.
B-R-I-X.
B-R-I-X, not B-R-I-C-K-S. And kids can get there and actually see what looking through that scope would be. Actually, we have one there, and when we have a walking tour, normally the exhibit area is a self-guided tour, but if we have someone giving a speech or a tour there, at any time, a lot of times they're there, a lot of times for bus tours, etc. They'll actually be able to see a refractometer, and they'll actually be able to see the actual clippers that they use to actually trim the grapes. It is a lot of hard work. The farmers, both on the wine grape side or the Concord grape side for juice, they actually go out in January and February and trim the grapes, get off the extra shoots off of it. Come springtime, they're actually trimming them, reducing them down further. They're spraying continually just to make sure that the grapes stay healthy through the season. And then in harvest, some cases people are still harvesting by hand, which is using those clippers and putting them in lugs. And others are using the mechanical harvesters that we talked about before, which produces about the effect of 30 people actually working through hand harvesting.
I always proclaim that I'm the smallest Concord grape farmer in the county. I have like 6 vines. I do. And the raccoons and I fight every year. And so my harvest time is about 7 minutes. I take off my ball cap. I pull off the ones that the raccoons have left me. I fill it up. I put it in a bowl when I get in the house, and I'm the only one that eats it because Barb doesn't particularly care because I don't spray them. So I have organic grapes at my house.
There you
So
go.
many things have come from those grapes as far as jellies and jams, juices that you can keep all year long after you put them in a water bath, and you can also make wine from them, which is a lot of fun to do.
Okay, so the Grape Discovery Center is for all ages.
It is.
Okay, and we have some pictures. And remember I told you Jeff was going to say pictures in my ear, and he did. So let's have a few pictures here. And again, for those that are listening, we're going to try to describe it to the best of our ability. So let's start with the first one. Okay, there's your logo, and taste, explore, learn, shop. Pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
As you're driving west along Highway 20 or Route 20, that's the first thing you'll see right alongside the grapevines. As Carolyn said, 1 minute outside of Westfield, but that's where you'll get to see, and then right after that you'll want to make a turn into us.
Lots of parking,
Yes.
You
Lots
can
of parking.
accept buses and all that sort of thing.
We
I've
do.
I've seen stretch limos there, everything. Okay, let's keep on going there, Jeff. Oh yeah,
Those are the Concord grapes, which you can actually sit right next to on the patio having a glass of wine.
those do not look like my grapes.
Now, that's why you should spray them.
Oh my God. I have some that look like beautiful, beautiful Concord grapes, bunches, beautiful, and right next to are these shriveled up little nasty things. I don't know what that's all about. It was a strange growing season up at my house. All right, but you can see those. All right, this is...
That's the beginning of the exhibit area. And as you walk in there to the left, then you'll see the mastodon bone. You'll see why this region is so perfectly designed for growing grapes. And it all started back in the glacial age when Lake Erie and the Great Lakes were formed. And the glaciers literally pushed up an escarpment. And between that escarpment, protecting us on the southern side, and Lake Erie providing some milding effects on the northern side, you have a perfect grape growing region in an area that's relatively cold and gets a lot of snow. And the soil between that escarpment and the Lake Erie, before you get to the lake, is perfect for growing grapes. It's a gravelly, loamy soil.
There's the problem. I live on the escarpment. I don't have that good soil. Hey, we have a phone caller. Shall we take a call?
Sure.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Carolyn. This is Linda Spalding. It's great to see you on the show, and to hear you talk about how we have such beautiful, fertile land for growing such things as grapes, and the aroma from the vineyards now is just absolutely heavenly.
It's hard to describe unless you experience it. It's really...
Oh, I just love to go riding along Route 5 there with the windows down and Route 20, and just smelling that is just the most delightful experience.
So, what's new with you?
Well, it's a beautiful October morning. Happy October to you.
Thanks. Is it still raining?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, I was just out with the dogs, and they didn't even get a sprinkle, I don't think. And of course, I have openings in our senior employment program, and we like to place people in jobs. And we have our computer training going on in Brockton. And there are other services with the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging.
What kind of jobs are you looking to fill?
Well, we like to look for people, according to what their interests now, but I'm looking for a driver, a couple of driver's aides. I have sub-clerical positions open. And, of course, we're always looking for people in the healthcare industry. That's a demand occupation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who wants to be an RN or a CNA. It can be somebody in office or, perform data entry duties in that field.
Okay, and a lot of people don't realize these are paying jobs, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. And how do they get a hold of you?
Call me at the Chautauqua County Office for the
So the
Aging.
telephone here.
The number is 753-4471. And, of course, there are other services with the Office for the Aging in addition to the senior employment.
Right, and I was just mentioning about the insurance opportunity for people to
Yes.
start thinking about that, and your overall office helps folks with all that sort of
Yes,
thing. and
there's free
lots of stuff.
counseling services. It's free.
Right.
There are some places that do provide the counseling services and give direction and options, but they charge. This
Right.
service, there is no charge. There are no eligibility guidelines.
Okay.
Just come in.
So what would be the number one job you want me to fill for you this week? I'm her jobber. I promote these every time.
The number one job is a clerical position.
Okay.
And I've got one in particular
Okay.
in Dunkirk, Fredonia area.
All right, and what kind of skill level do they have to have?
Well, when people go into clerical positions, they have to keep in mind that we're in a computer age. So they should have some, keyboarding experience and a little basic knowledge of computers.
Okay, super. All right, so again, give them that number. It's, I already forgot it.
753-4471.
Okay, and will they talk to you if they call that number?
Yes, and if I'm not there, I have voicemail.
Okay, super. Well, then, thanks for calling as always, and have a lovely weekend.
All right.
Take care.
too. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
See, I always forget because that forces everybody to repeat it. I actually sort of remember the number, sort of. Okay, folks, we're talking with Keith Fowler and Carolyn Bills from the Grape Discovery Center, and if you haven't been there, shame on you. You should get over there and check it out. So we were talking about the products. We've been talking about various things. Do we have any more photos? Oh, there's another one.
The rest of these photos will walk through the exhibit area. You can see it's pretty interesting, and it really does explain the history of how grapes, for example, that the Concord grape, a lot of grapes from Europe didn't settle well in this country, and a lot of the local native grapes were developed into the Concord grape by Ephraim Bull. He developed that in 1849, and you can learn about that in the exhibit area. And you also see how the grapevine grows, and actually all of the work that we were talking about a little while ago that the farmers have to go through to make sure that they wind up with a full crop. Bert Patterson told us a funny one day. Her husband was a grape farmer. Her son is a farmer now. Mm-hmm. And she said the most interesting thing about growing grapes is that you go through this all year long and you wind up getting one paycheck a year. So all of that work, depending on that one crop, to get that one paycheck a year is one of the most fascinating things. Then Charles Welch actually pasteurized the Concord grape to make the Welch's grape juice that we know today. He pasteurized it to prevent the fermentation, and we explain that in the exhibit area also. And actually, the first big sales that he had of the pasteurized grape juice was to the Methodist Church and a lot of churches around the country who used it for a sacramental wine.
Oh, yeah.
And as you see as we go through the area, in the back wall of this photograph, you'll see all of the ads that we all remember as kids. Well, some of us, if we're that old, that we, with Howdy Doody, et cetera, that Welch has produced and promoted their grapes around the country.
I think there's some Disney characters in there maybe too.
Yes, there are actually.
Yeah.
A lot of this was developed and really grew and boomed during World War II when they tried to create some protein-type foods that they could send to the well-contained and packaged and send to soldiers around the world who were fighting at that time.
Okay, here's another display of something.
That's, I believe that's a picture of Dr. Welch when he was a dentist in New Jersey when he took, and it was a 20-year time span between Ephraim Bull actually developing the grape and Dr. Welch pasteurizing it. But think about a small window of time. Those grapes were growing on his patio down in New Jersey. Then they decided that this area was a perfect area for them to actually grow the grapes because of the climate and the things I was talking about before. So the Concord grape really is sort of a transplant then? It is from actually Concord, Massachusetts, right? Yes. Louisa May Alcott and Thoreau house is right down the road from where Ephraim Bull was.
There you go. Okay. Is that on the pictures? I want to make sure. Oh, there's some more.
As you're driving along, east or west, along the thruway, you get off at exit 60 Westfield, and where, as Carolyn said, you turn into Westfield and you're about a mile down the road from Westfield heading west.
Which gives me something to say. I just thought of this. This coming Friday at Meter's Restaurant in Ripley at 11:30, there's going to be a meeting with the county talking about their Gateway project at Ripley. And I say this because it's going to involve the Grape Discovery Center in the end. This is going to be like a big attraction for people coming into New York State off the thruway, and I'm sure that the Grape Discovery Center will want to be there. So there's something to think about. And anybody else that's interested, it's an open meeting to learn more about what's going on with this project. So I just thought of that. Okay, we got a couple more pictures and then we'll wrap things up here. Oh, there's a beautiful shot.
We are a low-key building, and so you have to, as you're coming through, we're across the street from Westfield Nursery, and as you, we're on the left side heading west, and it's a really beautiful, subtle building set among the grapevines.
And Carolyn, what was that place beforehand?
It was the former Ford car dealership, Beckman Everett's Ford.
Competitors of your husband.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, and they've really remodeled it beautifully. Lots of parking there. And while we're thinking about it, I see the back of that building. You're open for large groups to meet as well?
Well, we are working toward that end. At this point, it's not a finished room. We need to do some fundraising, get some grant monies if we can to do that. But we do have our tasting area and our patio that we do rent space.
Let's describe the patio. We have a shot right now. We're looking from in the vineyard into the patio.
That's correct. And it's a beautiful setting. We can do small groups up to about 45 people in our tasting room and the patio. It's wonderful for baby showers, bridal showers, a small business meeting. You can rent our space. It's really very nice.
And throughout the months of summer, I've announced that when Will and I were playing there, and that was a great view of the vineyard and the patio right there. We played very often.
Yes.
Really nice.
Indeed.
Okay. All right.
We have a wedding scheduled there next year, actually.
Nice. So what are we looking at here, Keith?
This is from the tasting room. You can buy your glass of wine inside and then walk outside and sit in the patio and just enjoy the sunshine, or as we said before, the aroma of the grapes on a day like
Now,
today.
it's my understanding that many of the wineries in the area are award-winning winemakers. I mean, they've got some top wines, right?
Yeah, I had a gentleman come in. I was behind the tasting bar one day, and the gentleman was probably about 6'8", and he said he was a wine writer. I didn't get his name, and he said that he traveled around the world, and he had been here about 10 years ago, and he says when he came back here, now he couldn't believe the quality of the wines. He says it was like wines that he had tasted all around the world, and they are phenomenal, and the wineries are supportive of the Grape Discovery Center, and it's a mutually exclusive, mutually supporting process.
Very good. So there's another display of what you have there. That's
our fountain on
fountain
the
out by the
patio.
air. It would
On
be
the
right to my
patio.
left when I was playing. I forgot.
Yes.
It looks different because it's cropped. Okay.
Yes.
So everything's very tastefully decorated, and
Right.
it's a very, very nice, relaxing area. Okay. Oh, and there's a great shot.
This is our gift shop.
Look at that. Look at all the wood inlays. That's beautiful.
A lot of nice displays, and we do have the ability to sell wines by the bottle now, so that if you come and you taste and you're traveling, or you want to take a bottle of wine back to your hotel room, we have the capability to accommodate that for you.
Okay, another shot there. We're running down a couple of minutes, and we wanted to talk about some events that are coming up.
We have two actually that are open for the public. On November 16th, which is a Saturday, from 1 to 4 p.m., we're going to be doing our Flavors of Fall with a grape flair. We have some restaurants and local wineries coming. Tickets will be $10 advance and $12 at the door, where you can have some wine samplings and small bites from local restaurants. The other event that we have coming up would be our Christmas in the Vineyards, which we've done every year. That's scheduled for Saturday, December 14th from noon to from noon to 4 p.m. And many of the items in the gift shop will be on sale just in time for the holidays, and Santa might even show up.
Okay, so and throughout the year you have other events, and you've had cruise-ins, and I mean it's a community center, really, in and of itself. So cool. Okay, Keith, you got 30 seconds to say anything you want to say, and then we'll toss it to Carolyn.
No, just come visit us. We're always we're supported completely by donations. So if anyone wants to go online to our website, www.grapediscoverycenter.com, you can donate there with a PayPal button. You can also visit our store online and buy some of our products. And we are always looking for volunteers. It's really a fun thing to do. It's a fun place to be. If you ever fantasized about being a bartender, you can always come up there and help with our wine tastings.
Carolyn, how about a phone number?
716-326-2003. We'd love to have you come. We bring your friends, limousine companies. If you're scheduling a wine tour, please call ahead, make a reservation. Buses are always welcome. We like advance notice, so we're staffed correctly. And we do have a Facebook page.
All right.
So like us on Facebook.
All right, so it's a wrap, folks. That's it. We've run out of time. So I hope you enjoyed listening to Keith Fowler and Carolyn Bills, who are board members that oversee the Grape Discovery Center. The name of your organization again is the Concord
Grape Belt Heritage Association.
That's the one. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We're going to do this all again next Saturday morning right here on Channel 1301 Access Chautauqua. I'm Doc Hamels signing off for Chautauqua Sunrise. Have a great weekend and take care. And visit the Grape Discovery Center.